Today we're covering 8th grade, Chapter 4, Lesson 5, Proportional and Non-Proportional. Proportional means when two quantities maintain a constant ratio. Non-proportional, of course, would be no constant ratio. So let's talk about what would be a ratio. The first example says the speed of high-speed train operated in China is shown in the table at the right. Is the function proportional? To determine if the speed of the train is proportional, if a proportional function, write the ratios of distance in miles to time in hours for each ordered pair. And we always put the y on top and the x on bottom. So hours or time is always the x and the other's the y. So 200, the first is 217 over 1, which would equal 217. And again, if you want to put that in the calculator and check, 217 divided by 1 is 217. The next one, 434 divided by 2, also comes out to 217. And 651 divided by 3 comes out to 217. And 868 divided by 4 also comes out to 217. So each one of these ratios simplified to 217. So is this function proportional? Yes, since there is a constant rate, the function is proportional. Example 2. Is the function represented in the table proportional? Again, we're going to check all of the intervals. And y goes on top, x goes on bottom. And 3 divided by 1 makes 3. The next one is 6 divided by 2, which also makes 3. 9 divided by 3, which also makes 3. And 12 divided by 4, which also makes 3. So is this table proportional? Yes, because they all came out to 3. Example 2 again. I think that's supposed to be a 3. Is the function represented by y equals 7 times x proportional? So we could make a little table and plug in different x's and y's. If I put in a 1 for x, that would be 7 times 1, which would be 7. If I put in a 5, that would be 7 times 5, which is 35. And I can check that by dividing the intervals. 7 divided by 1 is 7, and 35 divided by 5 is also 7. Yes, this is a function because the function is written in y equals mx form. Anytime it's written like that, just with y equals something times x, that will be proportional. Key evidence for being proportional is no addition, if the problem doesn't contain any addition. Also, if it's a graph, the graph is a straight line, so that means it is linear. Also, it must pass through the origin. And remember, the origin is 0, 0. So key evidence of non-proportionality would be if the problem included any adding or subtracting. Then it's automatically non-proportional. You can mark it off. Let's take a look at the independent practice that you're supposed to do today. There's only 3 questions, so no, I'm not going to do any of them. But you are to tell me whether it is proportional or non-proportional. And they also say to justify your responses or explain. So if it's proportional, you can write the word proportion. If it's non-proportional, you can write non-proportional. And as far as explaining or justifying, you can write just the ratio. If you show me what the ratios are simplified, then that'll be justifying your answer. So make sure to show me your ratios on all three.